Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? What it do, Ferret? What's going on? What's up, brother? What up, Reagan? How you doing? It's good to see everybody. Another beautiful day, baby. Another beautiful day. It's Friday, too, man. Makes it even more beautifuler. I think that's English. Hope you guys are doing well, man. We got video gaming news for January 5th, and then we're going to dive in and probably be finishing up Alan Wake 2. I think we're pretty close to the end. So that's the plan for today. If we finish it early, who knows? Maybe we will dive into something else a little bit. Who knows? We'll see how the day goes, see how it progresses. There's maybe a chance to just try out the finals or something if we end Alan Wake too early. Who knows? Get that Java and or beverage of choice. Let's go ahead and get going here. Let's go take a look at what we got for video gaming news. You got that Earl Grey, dude. That's my cup of tea, if you will. That's my choice right there too. I like a lot of different teas, but dude, Earl Grey's always been my favorite since I was really young. Sky News tells Willis, the 13-year-old who beat Tetris, the first human to beat Tetris, to go outside. This will be an interesting article to read. First of all, it's not their place to tell this kid what to do. You know. Secondly, they don't understand the magnitude of what this kid has accomplished. They just don't get it. Yeah, it does sounds pretty you know, get wrecked. So yeah, I'm guessing that this reporter probably is catching quite a bit of criticism right now, as they should. It's not their place, right? To you know, it's not their child. Yeah. So just because this kid, who knows how much, you know, you have no idea how much time this kid spends outside and how much time they don't or anything. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great, dude. And also, I mean, the magnitude of what this, no other human being in the world has been able to do this shit. You know, instead of like, even if they don't understand the magnitude of what it means as a gaming enthusiast, they should still just, you know, it's undeniable. It's all over the place. It's a huge accomplishment. And instead of just throwing out kudos, this is what they say. Let's bring that up. Let's talk about that. We'll read it and see what went on there. You guys want a good idea of how polluted the video gaming industry is and why we have such a backlog all the time? Over 14,000 games were released on Steam alone as a platform last year. Over 14,000. I talked about this yesterday whenever, not this specific thing, but basically the fact that it's inevitable that you're never going to be able to play every game you want to play. Even if you play games all the time, it's just not in the cards, dude. There's not enough time. With how many games are constantly being released, the backlog only gets bigger, dude. I don't see how anybody could do it, to be honest. Play every single game. that you're interested in playing. And I think it's just one of those things where you've got to just take it in stride and play the ones that you're the most interested in, and understand and come to grips with the fact that you're not going to be able to play everything. You're just not. For variety gamers like myself, it's a hard thing to swallow a lot of times, I think, you know. For people that aren't interested in specific genres, for people that play most genres of games, you know, the backlog just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Wow. Thank you, Captain Obvious Kotaku. Switch 2 could cost $400 with $70 games. We've known that for quite a while. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is coming out this year. Cool. Ooh, Windows 11 gaming bugs get worse for testers as Microsoft struggles to fix the operating system. This is a pretty rough go, dude. Windows 11's had a lot of issues for gaming in particular. And at this point, you would feel like they should have it pretty baked in by now. I mean, don't get me wrong, an operating system is something that continually needs updates and patches and, you know, things like that, but they've had significant issues on the side of getting things fixed just so people can game without hitches. And it feels like it's never ending for Windows 11. This is why I talk about this a lot, or not a lot, but occasionally, the whole when should you maybe hop over to a new operating system, or update certain, you know, major drivers and stuff like that. I think that it's appropriate to be careful and make sure that the companies that are pushing out these updates have done it correctly, right? Because like Windows, dude, I'm not switching over to Windows 11 until I am very, very sure it is a stable platform, stable operating system. And this is exactly why I haven't switched over yet, because this is usually the case. But it does feel like Microsoft is having quite, you know, the amount of struggles getting Windows 11 baked in and stable, especially for gamers. Gaming Bible is clickbait. Rust is adding backpacks after 10 years. What? Wow. Yo, yeah, this is appropriate too. If you haven't already gone and grabbed your free game from Epic for the final giveaway of the holiday season, it is Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is supposed to be a pretty solid title. It's supposed to be pretty enjoyable. So I highly recommend people grab this. It does go on sale quite often on different platforms for roughly $17 to $20, but if you can get it for free, why wouldn't you? It's free for about the next roughly 3.5 hours. So you should be going and grabbing this, adding it to your account, and then you don't have to worry about waiting for it to go on sale or anything like that. It's free, man. It's free. No brainer. You know, YouTube's video games are almost impossible to find, but once you've unearthed them, you'll wish you never looked. Bro, they had me in the first half. They had me in the first half, dude. Let's pull this up and talk about it. I mean, I don't think that YouTube's very far along in their video game endeavor, really, are they? So the same thing could have probably been said for Netflix out the gate. just as a recent comparison. But Netflix has quite the plethora of solid titles on their platform now. They just need people to be able to access it more. So we'll see that real quick. 21 new games on GeForce Now in January. Let's see what we got. We talked about Willis and we saw the article, or we saw the video and everything yesterday. It was really cool. Really cool. Thanks for the help with that, by the way, Ferret. Appreciate it. Getting the link to the YouTube page and all that stuff, man. Prime Gaming reveals free games for January of 2024. Is this from the Chinese stuff? The China's regulations? Maple Story fine? What? Oh no, this is something entirely different. Getting fined by their developer's home country of South Korea. So let's take a look at that and see what's going on there. Looks like MSI is also bringing us a handheld console. Yo, what up, Soup? What it do, bruh? What's going on? I just, you know, get that fully charged beep and I'm off and running, I guess. You know what I mean? Actually, I don't feel fully charged this morning. I got a little bit of a headache, but hopefully it'll, you know, go away as we continue to move forward. I need to take some meds, hopefully, and knock it out. How are you? Happy Friday, buddy. Gave your phone a clean shower? Oh, did you? Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we'll look at this MSI handheld. Gaming Bible can get wrecked. I hate that website. Let's pull this up real quick. Make sure we're well aware of the games that are coming to us in the near future. Yeah, easy. Boy, if Psych was here, that would have taken a turn real quick. Dirty shower, you say? Psych would be like, me. I got this, dude. Let me handle this.
I'll take those balls too, though. I love balls.
Oh man, dude. Thank you, Soup. Dude, we've already known this. We've already known this. It's not even. We don't even know if it's called the Switch 2. We already know that Nintendo is trying to push a $400 price point, and we already know that they are planning on releasing all their games moving forward at $7. Why are we getting articles about this now? We've known this for a while, dude. That's been information that's been out there in dude, we touched on this like probably 3 or 4 months ago. We had all that information. Why is it $400? What do you mean? Please elaborate on the why. Like, do you feel like that's too much, too little? What's going on? Well, that's just the difference in, you know, currency. Yeah. Stupid noobs. That's funny. PlayStation announces games coming this year. Let's take a peek at that. Gaming phones, yeah. Redfall collaborator studio Gobo planning new AAA game. Yikers. Yikers. Let's talk about this. Yo, I've got an article for you guys, by the way. Here you go. Check this out. I got a bunch of articles done last night. They are a little bit different now, too. A lot of our news articles are going to have like an intro and outro to them and everything now. So I got that kind of finalized. We've got, check this out. There you go. Get a load of that, dude. Yeah, us probably as well. You know, the Switch is the only console I've really been buying into over the past couple of generations. Like, I've got a PS3, you know, but I didn't get PS4. I haven't bought into Xbox or PlayStation since that time frame. Current gen or the previous gen, but Nintendo's a bit harder for me because I got the kids, you know. The kids love the Nintendo stuff, and it's so we'll see what happens. I don't usually buy in right away either. I usually wait because there is usually a little bit of bake-in time needed even after release, and so we'll wait and see what happens. But and it depends on when it releases and stuff like that too. But we'll see. I mean, one of my things is yeah, I'd hope they have no issues as well. Nintendo's pretty good about it. They don't normally have a lot, I don't think, but there's always the potential there, right? And I think that most of us in this community are kind of waiting to see if they actually do anything nice for quality of life for consumers, like backwards compatibility, or, you know, not taking down, you know, just moving the current online platform over to the new hardware and everything like they should do. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff like that. You know, we'll see what happens, but I'll inevitably probably end up buying into it. It's hard not to. It's hard not to for me right now. I don't know. Yep, I think me and you both have been pretty vocal about those things, you know. Yeah, I'm not surprised that those are on your list as well, buddy. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. All right, let's go to our other search here. Get some of the sports stuff out of here. They're making a Minecraft movie. I love Jack Black, but Also, Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, Danielle Brooks, and Sebastian Eugene Hansen. Is this supposed to be... Doesn't even say. That's interesting. Like live action? Or is it going to look like Minecraft? It didn't say in there. It didn't say in there. I hadn't even... Apparently the adaptation's been in the works since like 2014? Almost, yeah, like a decade now? I love Jack Black, dude. I love Jack Black. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll start getting some more info on like what this is going to entail here pretty soon. Hold on. All right, sorry. Ferret le parrot. Surgeon Simulator developer Bosa Studios has laid off 1/3 of its staff. Here we go. Didn't take us very long into 2024 to keep the trend of 2023 going, I guess. You know, not a trend I wanted to see carry over, but here we are. Are they talking about Avengers, dude? What is this? It's got to be, dude. Launched in 2021. Oh, no. They're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Yeah, we already talked about that, though. One second, guys. All right, sorry, guys. We've got that up. Yeah, CS kicks off in like 3 or 4 days. So we're going to get a lot of tech-related info, maybe a little bit of gaming stuff out of CES 2024. We'll see. I don't think there's anything worth tuning into, really, specifically, but we'll get a lot of stuff from the news every day as CES opens up and starts kicking off, you know. It is live action, apparently. What does a live action Minecraft even look like? That's interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't think it's going to show us here. There's Jack Black, dude. There's Jack Black in the new Minecraft movie. Yo, let's go, dude. Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. I can get behind this. Yeah, dude. We'll just have to see how they pull it together. Yeah, they don't really know yet. That's wild. Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy stuff coming out of China with the regulations and everything. Somebody already took the fall for it, got ousted from the government. It's wild. We've talked about it a lot already. Let's pull this up. We'll put this right back here. We've got Metal Gear Solid stuff up too, but you know, you can't not take a look at Pyramid Head. We know that Silent Hill 2 remake, that is a collaboration between Bloober Team and Konami, is supposed to be hitting at some point this year. Hopefully it's good, man. I hope it's good. We'll see. It's something for us to keep into consideration for our Scaretober schedule, you know. If you haven't seen yet, the new schedule is completed. Boom! It's done. Here it is. It's tentative. That's what this big note down here is. Tentative schedule. We overshoot the time needed to play a lot of the games, and there's always bound to be changes, right? But the schedule has been completed. I appreciate everybody's help that attended the past couple of streams and helped kind of take care of getting this finalized and giving us a nice guideline, I guess, roadmap as to what we're going to be getting done and played this year. So that's exciting, man. And if you want to go back, there's a tab at the bottom where you can go back and look at 2023's schedule as well if you would like. We have this up. Clickbait. Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse horror game denies secret Nazi agenda. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see what's going on there. Speculation. Yeah, we've already seen where they're saying Prince of Persia Lost Crown length should be around 25 to 30 hours. So, pretty solid. All right, that's a good number of articles, man. Let's dive in here and see what we got. Well, let's start out with a this, I guess. I don't even know what, you know. There we go. So Steamboat, we've already seen the the trailer for this game and everything, and I'm excited about it. I've always thought that Mickey Mouse was terrifying. I'm not a fan, and I think it's great that he's being put into a horror game now like this, but apparently we have some potential underlying issues here. Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse horror game denies secret Nazi agenda. Jesus. Let's see what we got. Now that Steamboat Willie is public domain, there's already a video game based on it, although it's had to deny it has Nazi sympathies. As you may have heard, a bunch of classic books and movies became public domain at the turn of the year, including Peter Pan and Steamboat Willie, first animation to feature the character Mickey Mouse. That doesn't mean that Mickey Mouse as a whole is public domain, just the version from Steamboat Willie. But just as happened with Winnie the Pooh last year, that has immediately led to 2 horror movies being announced, with a character and a survival horror. Why turning beloved cartoon characters into horror movie monsters is the first thing anyone thinks of when this happens is a mystery, but Infestation Origins is also planning to try the same trick with a horror video game. It's a co-op game where you're an exterminator treating sinister infestations caused by twisted versions of classic characters and urban legends. What that's supposed to mean isn't clear, with the trailer and screenshots being a confusing mix of alien-looking goo monsters, giant rats, a moth creature, and Mickey Mouse. Oh, good. Oh, thought we were gonna have a problem there for a second. Dude, that's actually my favorite South Park episode, is where Mickey Mouse is beating the crap out of the Jonas Brothers for not wearing their promise rings. It's hilarious. That's one of my favorites anyways. Developer Nightmare Forge Games were only formed in 2010 and haven't made anything else before, so it's very hard to tell whether this is a genuine attempt to make a real horror game or just a cheap cash in. Here, take a look, dude. If you haven't seen this yet, here's your look.
Coming out. We've got a bit of an infestation here at the storage facility. We thought it was just rodents, but there's something else in here. There's nests. They're everywhere. We tried to take care of it ourselves, but
yeah, buddy. Yeah,
I've
I know. I'm
escalated.
sorry, man.
The exterminators are our last
Happy
hope.
Friday, though, buddy.
Please.
It's Friday, dude.
Before.
Perfect. Mouse horror. Game was initially called Infestation 88, which the developer claims was simply a reference to its 1980s setting. However, the number 88 is also used by neo-Nazis as a substitute for Heil Hitler. Jesus, really? I didn't know that. Since H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and Nightmare Forge Games has had to issue a statement saying they had no idea about that. Although Infestation is so far the only game to directly rely on Steamboat Willie going public domain, there's also first-person shooter Mouse, due in 2025. It was announced last year, and while it doesn't seem to have Mickey Mouse in it, the animation style is very similar to Steamboat Willie. Although you could just as easily say it's influenced by Cuphead, which already popularized the style for video games several years ago. Yeah. If you want to watch that trailer, it's here. But this was the main one. That's interesting. I get the more you know, I guess, you know. That's kind of wild. So, the game will no longer be called Infestation 88. It looks like Infestation Origins. It will now be the game. Alright. Cool. If you need more, if you want to see that other trailer and everything, there's your link, alright? Sir, oh, dude, this is brutal. I was really hoping we wouldn't have to, you know, we'd at least get some kind of buffer in 2024 before we had to start talking about more layoffs in the video gaming industry. But here we are. It is looking like we're getting a pretty quick carryover from 2023. such a fantastic year 2023 was for random mode time, by the way. Such a fantastic year 2023 was for game releases, and completely overshadowed and you know, just a dark look at what the industry is doing internally with all of the layoffs and everything. And we've talked about it before. It's inevitable. There are going to be some companies that just can't sustain anymore. But there are a lot of big companies that are apparently doing very well still, that are just really quick to fire people, and that sucks. We talk about it a lot. I've got a lot of articles out there. The most recent one on the YouTube page is going to be, where is it? Yeah, right here. This went live last night, so if you want to take a look, this is kind of a summary of what we were talking about. That was on December 31st right there. So finishing up the year, that was our final article we addressed from video gaming news for 2023, and it was appropriate, absolutely. Addressing the debacle of great games and horrible layoffs in the industry, and I think that a little bit of it can be attributed to overhire from the pandemic. I think a lot of it is actually just bad business. People at the top of these big companies making bad business decisions, and then, you know, who pays the price? Employees get fired. They're the ones that pay the price, is the way it feels. So I don't know. Here we are again, though, and let's see what's going on here with more layoffs. Yo, you can either get a free sub off of Ripperonis or Lesbian Pride emote. Let's go. Surgeon Simulator developer Bosa Studios has laid off 1/3 of its staff. Studio is currently working on a new IP, Lost Skies. Yeah, so Lost Skies, I think, is it not the same one I'm thinking of? No, it's not. Okay. But we have it up. We'll take a look at it on here as well as we get through this article. Surgeon Simulator developer Bosa Studios has laid off 1/3 of its staff. It's confirmed. GamesIndustry.biz sources shared a list of 19 developers that are currently being affected by the redundancy measures. According to the report, these redundancies include Q&A and production staff. The company is currently developing Lost Skies, a cooperative survival adventure for 1 to 6 players set amongst the clouds. In a statement provided to GI, studio co-founder Henrique Olivier called the situation a perfect storm of events, citing the high number of quality AAA releases in September, which he claims caused funding issues. Resulting from this Blue Moon situation, we had to make the difficult decision to reshape the studio to reflect the position we find ourselves in at the end of this year, focusing all of our efforts now on Lost Skies. This means we find ourselves in the heartbreaking position of having to let roughly 1/3 of the studio go, amongst them some of our closest colleagues. I'm probably not going to watch the dev diary on this, but we'll take a look. Hold on. Prior to Lost Skies, Bosa Studios worked on popular titles such as Surgeon Simulator and I Am Bread, both of which gained huge popularity thanks to the games being regularly featured by popular YouTube content creators. Oliver continued, quote, "While we are doing our utmost to support them, we would appreciate any help our industry peers can give in spreading the word about these great people, or even better, hiring them as part of your team. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better game development professional than one of these Bosians, whom we'll vouch for without hesitation." Quote, "We often say that making games is hard, but nothing is harder than seeing people you admire being let go. Ultimately, we tried our very best to avoid being in this position. We're truly sorry for where we have landed." This latest round of redundancies continues an incredibly difficult run for the games industry, which has seen job cuts around the world. Job losses around the games industry were widespread in 2023, with companies impacted by layoffs last year included Embracer, Xbox Game Studio, Epic Games, Sony Interactive, CD Projekt, Unity, Ubisoft, Riot Games, Blizzard, Crystal Dynamics, BioWare, Striking Distance, Team 17, Frontier Developments, Telltale Games, Digital Extremes, Amazon, Digital Bros, many more also. So yeah, it's kind of brutal. It's rough to see. It's rough to talk about almost every single day in the news. Let's take a look at this. That didn't tell us a whole lot. The animation style is very good. I like it. It looks nice. Planned release dates to be announced. If you want to take a look at more of this here, I'll throw it in here for you. If you want to take a look at it on Steam, there's the link. Okay. Feels bad. I don't think that, you know, this is quite the same situation as a lot of these other bigger companies that have resorted to these tactics. They do their quote, their statement here about these layoffs do sound genuine. They sound very sincerely sorry, which most of the time it doesn't come off like that. This actually sounded pretty, you know, it was at least a solid written statement. Made them come off as being remorseful about the situation, and you know, still feels bad, dude. It still feels bad to be dealing with this right out the gate in 2024, you know. PlayStation announces games coming in 2024. Let's see what we got. PlayStation released a video showing off some of the games coming this year. While most games were already known, 2 surprises came from the video. Let's not talk about it. Let's watch it. Let's go. Yep. Figured that would be in there. Yep. Yellow Blade. We talked about that a little bit. Rise of the Ron, and we looked at this yesterday for the first time in a while. Come and get it. Wow, explosion. Come and get it. I saw I conquered. Well, I like the dragon he was supposed to be. Prince Persia. Yep. Oh. Pacific Drive. Yeah, we're probably going to be doing Saratoga with Pacific Drive. Silent Hill 2. Yep. New business coming. Stalker 2. Ever Sky. This is the Subnautica-esque game. Not like things else. Oh, like Spire 2. Ever Sky is Subnautica basically in the sky. Foam Stars. Dude, I'm sorry. This looks terrible. Casting Frank Stone, yes. Metal Gear Solid Delta. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Why? Why is The Last of Us Part 2 getting a remaster? That game's not old enough. Other than the fact that Naughty Dog is just being lazy and can't come up with anything new to make, you know. They're scared to try to take a leap into anything new. Official remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 had been named. Here, let's see. Both from major franchise, this announcement came as a shock to viewers. Metal Gear Solid 3 and Silent Hill 2 will be available on PlayStation sometime in 2024. Both of these are Konami games, obviously. Other titles announced include Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Last of Us Part 2, Tekken 8, and many more. The official remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 had been named Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. While there is nothing on its official page for PlayStation yet, IGN reports that it will be a faithful remake. They will be reusing old dialogue and not recording anything new. It will also not be exclusive to just PlayStation, but will also be released on Xbox and PC. Fans are undoubtedly excited about the announcement of a release window for this game. Silent Hill 2 is a remake of the classic game back in 2000, game made back in 2001. Descriptions talk about how the main character, James Sunderland, receives a letter from his deceased wife. Desperate to find answers, travels to Silent Hill to find clues about the letter. With many monsters and an eerie atmosphere, the game presents itself as a horror-style video game. Silent Hill 2 has not seen a release window until this video was released. In an article published by IGN, Bloober Team, the developers, Konami will be publishing plans to keep the story the same and focus on the atmosphere of the game. Initially announced back in 2022, the fans of Silent Hill will not have to wait much longer for the release. Yep. Okay. So there you go. If you need or want to watch that trailer again, there you go. It's in this article. Redfeld, excuse me. Redfall collaborator studio Gobo planning a new AAA game. Bro. Studio Gobo, a developer who collaborated on open world shooter Redfall and Hogwarts Legacy, appears to be working on a new AAA game, according to official job listings on their site. First reported by a Gamesual, a variety of the job listings mention broad details about the unannounced project. Senior environment artist role in particular dishes out some interesting tidbits. The job describes Studio Gobo's new game as a world-class project built in UE5. Yeah, what a nice default statement there. Everybody get hype. Developers built Redfall in UE4, which surprised players. Arcane Austin's Harvey Smith explained in an interview with WCCF Tech, the team simply didn't have enough time. But they would have probably gone with UE5 if they had, I guess. Redfall was a divisive game right from launch, but Studio Gobo only partly played a role in its development. Also, there have been a variety of improvements in Redfall since then. Many have been willing to give the game a second chance as developers eventually added 60 frames per second performance mode and other crucial updates. Sorry, dude. This is not like... Dude, I've got another article out where I talk about like performance. Developers need to be better about just releasing games with better performing video options and stuff like that. It's crazy that, you know, we're all the way through 2023 we were still seeing huge issues with the incredible hardware that we have to play games on nowadays and for games to be developed for. We see so many issues with games being frame rate locked, even sometimes at 30 frames, you know, where they're not giving the game player options to be able to you know, adjust the game to fit your preference. They just lock you in and it's like, oh well, this is the way we designed it to be, you got to play it like this, instead of giving people, designing it to have options so people can play to their preference, whether it be a lower graphical, you know, fidelity and higher frames or vice versa. They don't do that. It's just, it seems so ridiculous that we are this far along in video game development and we're being gatekept by developers with, you know, making us play games the way that I guess they want us to without giving us options. We still have games that get released all the time with, you know, without even things like a FOV setting slider or a even button mapping and stuff, which should be absolutely default on games nowadays. You know, it's so crazy that stuff's not in there. And then you talk about like games being locked at 30 frames per second, and just, it's really silly, dude. It's really silly. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason why we as the consumer and as game players shouldn't be given the options of adjusting the settings to fit our preference. And there are definitely genres that benefit on both sides of the ballpark there. You know, like if you're playing a very fast-paced, you know, maybe melee or a hack and slash action game, something like that, you know, more frames matters to an extent, because the smoother the better. Games like, you know, Soulsborne games, so like that, you know, if you're playing at 30 frames, it doesn't feel as good as playing at like even 60 or, dude, get me up to like 120, you know? It feels so much better when it's just buttery smooth. I'll take a downgrade in graphics. Same thing for shooter games. Shooter games, you obviously you're going to benefit from more frames than you are from graphical fidelity. But there are some games that are built to be viewed in a better graphical experience with all the blooming and ray tracing and all that stuff, and some people want to take frames to take a back seat. I get that. Everybody should have the options though. And Studio Gobo appears to be aiming for an ambitious and superior new project from the onset. One job posting mentions plans to combine masterful artistry and storytelling with groundbreaking technology. This implies that the game might prioritize next-gen support. Although little is known about the project, the timing of these new job listings might give fans a vague idea of the development timeline. An official announcement isn't likely to drop anytime soon. It's also unclear if Studio Gobo will develop the title on their own. The environment artist job listing mentions this project will be a AAA console game. This confirms console support may hint at another Xbox exclusive. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, I think any studio that I know had anything to do with something like Redfall, I'm going to be a little bit cautious about. It's just, I'm sorry. If that's the most recent thing they've done, Redfall was not very good, dude. It was not very good. And, they can say they were rushed and stuff if, that was the case. And that's why they weren't able to make the game better, because they weren't able to use UE5. And I don't know that, there are UE4 games that are bangers, dude. So your ability to make Redfall better just by using UE5, like that was going to change the overall consensus of what that game was on release. I don't know about that, So, what up, True? How you doing, friendo? Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's see this. How you doing? MSI is announcing a new PC gaming handheld at CES 2024, potentially running on the new Intel Core Ultras. Handhelds getting a little bit polluted here in the it was inevitable though. I mean, this is kind of the way it was going to happen, right? I think that what's been nice so far about the major handhelds that have been developed for the PC gaming side is that there's the number that we have now. Well, let's talk about like something like you've got the Steam Deck with different tiers at a lower price point. Very good devices. You got Lenovo Legion Go kind of sitting in the middle between them and the Asus ROG Ally. All of these devices have, their different pros, if you will, and different price points, different, hardware and things like that. And I think it's good that there are so many options. The other thing I think that's great about the handhelds is it's an easier segue, in my opinion, for people to get into PC gaming than buying a rig, building a rig, things like that. I think people are, to an extent, pretty hesitant about PC gaming because they don't want to have to manage a PC as well. Even though PC is a very useful tool, to an extent, I think there are an amount of people that are gamers that just don't really care to deal with that. They want the ease of plug and play, which is why there are so many console players out there still. And I think that the handhelds here for the PC side of gaming present a more plug and play, easier segue into PC gaming that we haven't necessarily had all that much before. And along with them playing the same kind of dual role that the Switch made so very popular, right? It's an on-the-go mobile device, which is very appealing to a lot of people nowadays because, let's face it, most people are on the go quite often, as well as it can be docked up. They can be docked up so that they can be played traditionally, and that's just nice, man. It's really, really good quality of life for gamers as a whole. So I think it's good, and I'm hoping that it's going to bring more people into PC gaming because I think it's a more consumer, user-friendly side of gaming nowadays than console is all the way around. But we've got a new challenger entering the arena, as it were. MSI is announcing a new PC gaming handheld at CES, potentially running on Intel Core Ultra. So MSI has a new PC gaming handheld coming to rival the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Legion Go, and more. It's going to be unveiled next week at CES 2024. Yeah, CES pops off in what, like 4 days, 3 or 4 days. MSI has posted a teaser video on its social channels for a new PC gaming handheld from the company. Something to rival the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go, and products from Aino. The full reveal and announcement are coming at CES next week, where the company will probably have a few prototypes or models on hand for attendees to check out. Aim to make it just that little bit more interesting. Unlike most PC gaming handhelds on the market rocking AMD Ryzen Phoenix hardware with integrated Radeon graphics, this new PC gaming handheld from MSI could be using an Intel Meteor Lake APU. MSI is set to announce its very own PC gaming handheld, like they've stated about 5 times now. We don't have long to wait to find out. Yeah, so we'll find out pretty soon exactly what, all the details of the device, I'm sure. Hardware statistics, you know, they'll probably have 2 to 3 different models, which will probably include different RAM amounts, storage sizes, maybe even a couple different processors from the Intel Core lineup. We'll just have to see, you know. And we'll have to see what the price point is and stuff like that. But they're kind of speculating down there. It's not really worth diving into. But we know it's coming. We'll keep our eyes and ears open later this week. Or early next week, I guess is what it'll be. Early next week for when we get this announcement officially out of CES, okay? But we know it's on the way. That's good. I'm glad you're doing good, True. I'm doing good, friendo. I've got a little bit of a headache this morning, but, you know, other than that, I'm solid. No complaints, really. I just need to take some medicine and hopefully knock it out. Thanks for asking. The Sky News, dude, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this. I've already talked about it a little bit. So, and I'll tell you, I'll give my sentiments here as we. My initial, yeah, I know. It's not terrible right now, but I definitely need to try to take some meds and knock it out. I forgot to take some before I sit down and started streaming. I was just running around trying to get ready, running late. You know what I mean? Sky News tells 13-year-old who beat Tetris to go outside. Look, we watched Willis, the 13-year-old, break Tetris, you know, or hit the kill screen. We watched it yesterday, and it was dope, man. And that's a huge accomplishment, right? That game, that's like a 40-year-old game that a human, for all we know, no human has ever broken that game until now. That's a huge accomplishment. And, you know, I don't expect everybody in the world to understand the magnitude of something like this. If you're not a gaming enthusiast, if you don't play video games, which I'm going to assume this person doesn't, but at the same time, who are you to tell this kid to go outside? You're not this kid's parent. You know what I mean? You don't know what this kid's life's like. You don't know how much time they spend outside. So to have somebody bust off a sentiment like this, a statement like this, feels pretty disgusting to me. And just because you're not a video game player and you don't understand what this means and what an accomplishment this is for a 13-year-old, you know, for you to try and say this kind of thing, it's not your place. That's not your place to say this. Sky News anchor Jane Secker told the 13-year-old who beat Tetris to go outside and get some fresh air. Earlier this week, 13-year-old Tetris player Willis Gibson became the first person to ever beat the game in 34 years by reaching such a high level that it crashed. also known as the kill screen, right? Yeah, this is known as the true kill screen, and the competitive community has been trying to reach it for years. It's an impressive feat. One Sky News reporter told the boy to go outside. As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. 51-year-old Sky News anchor Jane Secker laughed, as reported by VGC. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Y'all, I hope this lady is getting wrecked. Just because you're a parent doesn't give you the right to tell somebody else's kid what, you think they should be doing, unless it's something significant, like they're breaking the law or something, and you'd probably be like, yo, probably shouldn't do that. So first and foremost, like I said before, this is not their place to say this. And beating Tetris might not be your life goal, but this 13-year-old kid did it whenever nobody else has been able to do it in 34, 35 years. So for any of us that have, are gaming enthusiasts, we know what kind of feat this is. This is significant. And as I said yesterday while we were watching it, I was just blown away. I think the processing power of this kid's brain is actually insane. And instead of just giving kudos to the kid, even if this is the way you truly felt, this is not something that this individual, Jane Secker, should have been stating out loud, in my opinion. Should have kept it to themselves. Just shut up, dude. Shut up. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Gross. Funny enough, video gaming industry is rude ass lady, yeah. The video gaming industry is becoming if it isn't already just the most lucrative entertainment industry in the world. And so if this lady wants to say something like beating Tetris is not a life goal, then I don't know, I don't, it kind of pisses me off. I don't want to sink to this level or anything that this lady is coming in at, but it does piss me off to see this and read these statements. Note, Gibson's mother, Willis's mother, a school teacher. yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Had different feelings about her son's achievement. I'm actually okay with it. He does other things outside of playing Tetris. Like I said, who are you to say something like this when you have no idea what this kid's life is like? So it wasn't that terribly difficult to say, okay. It was harder to find an old CRT TV than it was to say, yeah, we can do this for a little bit. This is a cool parent. Following Secker's comment, many jumped to support Gibson on Twitter, calling her statement old-fashioned and smug. VGC features editor Chris Scullion, who shared the clip online, tweeted, "It is the year of our Lord 2024, and Sky News is still telling people who play video games to go outside and get some fresh air." Notably, on the same day, they're praising a 16-year-old darts player. The head of communications of the UK games industry trade body, Bhavina Bakata, also called out the double standard. What's bonkers about this is how this has been covered as if it was, say, a child chess champion. We'd all be celebrating. They'd even be invited to Downing Street to play chess. Fantastic sentiment there. What a great way to assimilate this to something else that where we would be praising a young individual. And dude, like I said whenever we watched this yesterday, this was incredible to watch. It really was. I literally, I'm pretty sure my exact statement was, the processing power of this kid's brain is actually insane. It's a very, very, very cool thing to watch. The magnitude of this feat is incredible. For just to see a human do this kind of thing is very impressive. you know, let alone what it means for, you know, us as video gaming enthusiasts. Regardless, the Tetris community has celebrated this achievement in mass as Gibson has pulled off what was presumed for years to be an impossible feat, conquering not only incredibly high speeds, but glitched color levels that goes as far as to render blocks practically invisible as they turn pitch black. Yeah, the charcoal stuff is gross, dude. There's like 2 different sections where it can turn into what's called dusk. That's what we read, right? They called it, I think, dusk. And then there's also the charcoal. Dude, we saw him go through charcoal, and it was disgusting. I couldn't believe that he like worked through it like that. It was crazy. So, yo, this lady needs to get wrecked. I think that Jane Secker, maybe you should just mind your own business. Maybe get out of maybe you're past your limit on reporting, you know, these days. You know? Jane Sucker. I like it, dude. Well played, True. Yeah. Might be time to replace old Jane. Not with the times, dude. Not with the times. I don't want anybody to lose their job, you know what I mean? But this is a pretty I obviously am tilted about this. You know, we've dealt with a side of the media who has taken their issues out on video games forever. Blame video games for everything, you know? Blame video games for everything. When there's been research, dude, whether you want to talk about violence, you know, video games have adamantly been proven through research that they are not a catalyst for violent acts. There's actually been a ton of proof through research that many video games, especially a game like Tetris, is great for cognitive development of the human brain, right? And then we're still dealing with crap like this. We're still dealing with crap like this where an individual, Jane Sucker, wants to, rip on this kid for such an amazing feat and tell him to go outside. Get wrecked, dude. Get a flipping life, man. You know? So gross. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is coming out this year. The release window was shared in a recent PlayStation video. Yeah, we saw it. There's no point in diving into this. We saw that. And this as well. So we're good. Windows 11 gaming bugs. Oh, geez, dude. Windows. Yeah, I agree, True. Terrible, man. Windows 11 gaming bugs get worse for testers as Microsoft struggles to fix the operating system. Nasty. Excuse me. Nasty bugs causing havoc with some popular PC games have been hanging around in Windows 11 previews for months now, and more titles are now affected. Dude, Microsoft's been having a tough time with Windows 11. That's why I've told everybody, like, I haven't switched over, and I won't until I'm quite sure that they have Windows 11 very fleshed out, very baked in. And this is one of the reasons why. It's had a lot of issues, specifically for gamers. It's caused a lot of issues throughout its life cycle so far that they continually have to address and fix. You haven't switched because I haven't? I'll let you know, but this is why. This is exactly why, right? Until I'm quite sure I quit hearing about them having to deal with issues, specifically on the side of people playing games on the operating system, there's no reason for me to switch over. Windows 10's been great. I love it. It's fleshed out. It feels good. I don't have issues with it. But Windows 11 has had a lot of issues. Microsoft just released a new preview of Windows 11 for the earliest testing channel and acknowledged that gaming bugs affecting preview builds have recently gotten worse. The bad news comes with the release of a preview build 26020 for the Canary channel, with Microsoft admitting that existing issues with bugs hitting PC games have gotten worse. Have got worse? I think that should be gotten. Microsoft told us, quote, some popular games may not work correctly on the most recent insider preview builds in the Canary channel. Starting with build 26016, more games have been impacted by several bugs. If you're having any issues, please submit feedback in the feedback hub. These bugs affecting PC gamers have been hanging around for months now, so it's disheartening to see that they're getting worse rather than better. Of course, if you're testing Windows 11, especially the Canary builds, you must accept that there are problems that are bound to impact your experience. You certainly don't want a Canary preview on any PC that's intended for serious use and not just messing around with naturally. So, as you might expect, there are a bunch of other known issues flagged up with build 26020. That includes an error with printers where the print queue is showing a weird message about not finding an app when it's open, and a more serious gremlin in the works whereby testers can't open the settings app. Jesus. Those who can successfully dive into the settings panel may also find that there are minor errors in terms of incorrect fonts and spacing with text in the app. Jeez. Yeah. Sensei OA knows. Yeah, no, I just... I'm careful about this kind of stuff. I was talking about it earlier when we found this article initially. It's like, whether you're talking about an operating system or like even drivers for major pieces of hardware, like your graphics card and stuff, sometimes they get released, and on release, they have some unforeseen issues. They need some bake-in time. They got to figure out, it takes time to get stuff. So it's appropriate to be cautious, and not dive into stuff right away, because especially something as big as an operating system, it's that's the reason they overlap, right? So that's the reason that they overlap operating systems, because they know they need to get it out into the open, and they need to get as many people using it as they can to try and find issues with it. It needs to be used on the current in the consumer market. But that's why Windows 10 is still pumping, and they're still supporting it, right? But then Windows 11 comes out and they overlap. Because they need this kind of stuff. They need the time. But as a consumer and a user of these products, you have to understand that they're never flawless on release. Never. And it's appropriate to take your time. There's nothing wrong with just sitting in and using the software you're currently using while they work on getting it baked in and fleshed out, get all the issues kind of summed up, and make it a fairly seamless operating system to dive into whenever you feel like it's appropriate, or whenever the support for the previous version, like for when end of support for Windows 10 happens, then you need to be jumping ship and going to Windows 11. Either way. Rust is adding backpacks after 10 years of being live. What? In a recent update, Face Punch Studios divulged a staggering amount of information about Rust's last 10 years of development and stressed what's coming soon. It was revealed that after more than a decade on the market, the team is finally adding backpacks to the game, allowing players to craft storage solutions that allow them to carry more resources and equipment on the go. That's not all. Plenty is coming in 2024, according to Face Punch. On February 1st, Face Punch will publish the backpack update in Rust, a 10-year-old open-world survival game. There'll be craftable items that'll boost your on-the-go inventory. It's surprising that such a feature took so long to implement, but it's better late than never, right? Beyond that, there's plenty more content coming in 2024 for Rust, such as new and revamped monuments, onboarding systems for new players, motorcycles, revamped server listing UI, new weapons, more unique buildable areas. There are performance and quality of life improvements planned too. In an infographic, Face Punch revealed that in 10 years, Rust has sold 16 million copies and seen more than 350 content updates be released. It has reached a peak concurrent player count of 244,000 users, and the thriving modding community has produced more than 124,000 Steam Workshop items. It remains one of the most popular survival games ever made, and Face Punch Studios is far from being done with the project. I've watched an amount of Rust before I started streaming. I watched some streamers play Rust and stuff. It's a cool game. I've never taken a dive in myself. It's very brutal, It's very brutal. And I think when you win, it's one of those games like when, because it's very, very PvP heavy, right? I mean, that's what it is. Very PvP heavy. And you can co-op too, but You take down other people, it feels good, dude. If they take you down, it feels bad. Which is going to get even worse with backpacks because people are going to be running around with even more resources, man. It's going to be funny. This is a funny. They had me in the first half of the title of this article. It was pretty comical. Take a look at this. I read this initially and then I had to read it again. YouTube's video games are almost impossible to find, but once you unearth them, you'll wish you never looked. That's pretty funny. After a labyrinth of menus as intuitive as Dadaist poetry, players are rewarded with knockoffs of decades-old games to maliciously bad. Woo, excuse me. To have been designed by AI. I'm trying out YouTube's Premium's games, but I can't find them. I assumed I would boot up the app and there would be a big red button saying games, but no. I have to sign up to Premium, then find your Premium benefits section, and then find experimental features, then select try experimental features, then find the try games on YouTube part therein, and tap on try it out. Jesus Christ. There's an explore tab and a search tab just to make things as intuitive as Dadaist poetry. I go through more menus than an entire series of Ramsey's Kitchen Nightmares. It was quicker to load up and play Lords of Midnight on the ZX Spectrum. When I find it, the gaming section contains not games, but a fetid hellscape of people alternately mumbling or shouting over video game playing. These must be those content creators. They're all torturous. I'm sure they play these videos to those inmates at Guantanamo Bay who they can't break with Metallica songs. How many prisoners must have finally cracked while watching I Did This in Zelda and My Nose Fell Off for Lols by Cool Riz 23. The games in YouTube are actually in a section called Playables. This reminds me of Lunchables, where tiny versions of food fight a losing battle against mountains of separating plastics, so kids can make pizzas out of crackers and processed lumps of regret. They talk about a lot of the games. This is a long article. Let's get to the summary here. YouTube appears to have ordered barely functioning developers to make supermarket-owned brand versions of games we got bored playing a decade or more ago. They're like knockoff toys from foreign market stalls. A Robert Downey-esque plastic face in a suit branded Iron Guy. I asked my kids to try them out to see if it was just me. They played for 10 minutes before they were taken into care. I played 29 of the games. No one will ever make it through all 48. It would be crueler than Squid Game. A biological imperative would take over and you'd ram a pencil up your nose into your brain. This tawdry affair is curated either by an idiot who knows nothing about games or thinks consumers are idiots who deserve nothing but to be ripped off. YouTube has killed language and irony by making playables unplayable. Jeez. Brutal, dude. What a brutal article. God dang. But, I mean, sounds maybe a deserved piece of getting ripped, man. And we knew that YouTube was like doing this gaming stuff and everything, but that many games just to be that brutal, not a good look. We'll see how it goes moving forward for him. A new year of gaming. GeForce Now adds more than 20 new titles in January. The finals kicks off the first GeForce Now Thursday of the year. Celebrate the new year with more cloud gaming. Experience the power and performance of the cloud with more than 20 new games to be added to GeForce Now in January. Start with 5 games available this week, including the finals from Embark Studios. Tune in to the NVIDIA special address at CES on Monday, January 8th for the latest on gaming. The finals countdown. The free multiplayer first-person shooter is newly supported in the cloud this week with RTX on for the most cinematic lighting and visuals for GeForce Now Ultimate and Priority members. Yeah. And with the new, what else? Enshrouded, become Flameborn, the last ember of hope of a dying race. We've got Enshrouded on the schedule to take a look at whenever it releases. But this is what it looks like we're getting. New Cycle, War Hospital, Bang on Balls, Enshrouded, and Turnip Boy. So these are the games. Don't miss the 5 newly supported games joining the GeForce Now library this week. Dishonored for Hungary, Czech Republic, and Poland. Those are the only locations that are getting Dishonored, it looks like. Hungary, Czech Republic, and Poland, Dishonored. The finals, Red Match 2, Scorn, bleh, Sniper Elite 5. Here's what's coming through the rest of January. War Hospital, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, Stargate, Timekeepers, Enshrouded, Bangle and Balls Chronicles, Firefighting Simulator, The Squad, Ejected Rivals, The Legend of Nayuda, Boundless Trails, Railgrade, Red Match 2, Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, with Aiko's Choice. I think that's the DLC for it. Solasta, Crown of the Magister, Survivalist, Invisible Strain, Witch It, and Wobbly Life. Yeah, I know, me too. That's what I was thinking. Doubled in December. In addition to the 70 games announced last month, 34 extra joined GeForce Now. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Ghost Simulator 3, Lego Fortnite, Against the Storm, Rocket Racing, Fortnite Festival, Stellaris, Nexus, 10 Hearts, Amazing Cultivation Simulator, Blasphemous 2, banger. Great game. Century, Age of Ashes Chorus, Dungeons 4, Edge of Eternity, Farming Simulator 17 and 22, Flashback 2, Forza Horizon 4 and 5, Hollow Knight, awesome game. When are we gonna get Silksong? The Front, Martha is Dead, Minecraft Dungeons, Monster Hunter World, Neon Abyss, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, both great games. Raji, an Ancient Epic, Remnant from the Ashes, Remnant 2, also awesome. I played it last year, loved it. Richman 10, Spiritia, supposed to be very good also. Surgeon Simulator 2, and Sword and Fairy 7. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance didn't make it in December due to a change in its published date. Stay tuned to GFN Thursday for updates. So if you need this list, here you go. But these are the games. Ori games are so cute. Yeah. You went to sleep for a while? There's a game called Bang on Balls that is getting added to GeForce Now. Scorn! Blah. Yeah, I already threw up at that one. That's the one we were talking about, though. Scorn remake win? Yo. Gross. No. No. Never. What a disappointment that was. It was a huge disappointing game for me. You know, that was a game that I kept track of for a long time. I love the Geiger-esque kind of artwork, so I was really drawn into the premise of that game. Then the game came out, and it was terrible. It felt horrible to play through. It was just, I mean, not performance-wise, just content-wise. It was just boo-boo. The aesthetically, you know, it was aesthetically pleasing to look at because of the Geiger environment, you know, very aliens, if you will. And but the gameplay was just terrible, and there was no dialogue. You had no idea what was going on. There's no flipping, you know, you have no clue what the story is even about. And the ending was like, what? It was just bad. The gameplay was very limited. It just, to me, the game all the way around content wise was very, very, very bleak. It didn't feel very good. It wasn't worth the amount of money they were charging for it, and especially for a game that took 8 years to develop. Did not feel good. Amazon Prime Gaming reveals free games for January. Here we go. Thought I heard something, sorry. Amazon Prime Gaming, the gaming branch of the ever-popular Amazon Prime service, has unveiled its latest roster of free games for January. This announcement marks another exciting month for subscribers who eagerly anticipate the diverse selection of games that Amazon Prime Gaming consistently delivers. Prime Gaming has established itself as a leading figure in the gaming community, offering not just a varied assortment of games, but also exclusive in-game content and perks for popular titles. What are we getting here? January 2024 lineup demonstrates Prime Gaming's commitment to diversity and quality in gaming. The month's schedule is structured to release a new game each Thursday, ensuring a steady stream of entertainment for subscribers. Shut your mouth. This strategy kicks off with a high note, as the first game is a 2023 BAFTA award winner, setting a promising tone for the rest of the month. Endling, Extinction is Forever, January 4th. Take a look. PlayStation. You spelled it wrong, Soup, remember? PlayStation. Yeah, there you go, dude. Yeah. Yeah, the Ori games are really cute, true, yeah. I enjoyed them. I'm more a fan of Metroidvanias that have more of an emphasis on, you know, boss fights and everything, too. The second one was better, in my opinion. Or the second Ori was a better game. But they're both good. They're very beautiful. They played well. Endling. That's Endling. Available on January 4th. And then on January 11th, we get Apico. I'll kill the music for a second, sorry. Fishing? That's a great fishing game. And Dredge is good too. Dredge is really good. I played both last year. They're great. And they're doing a mashup now. They're collaborating. So there's going to be like Dredge fish in Dave the Diver. It's going to be pretty cool. That should be great, actually. January 11th, Apico and Atari Mania on the 18th. Let's go.
So, you want to be a caretaker at the Atari Vault? Well, you picked an amazing career. Not everyone gets to work with their video game idols. But it's not all fun and games. Some of the stars leave their messes strewn about. Come on. While others may need a little push to take the 8-bit stage. You can do it, Billy. And some, like Bentley here, unleash a pixel-eating virus that corrupts our favorite characters, threatens to swallow the Atari Vault whole, and completely destroy the history of video games as we know it. Well, what are you standing around for? Time to save the day.
That's probably too loud. I apologize. Don't forget to take your vitamins. Are these even games?
So you want to be a caretaker at the Atari Vault? You think you're up for the job?
Okay. Interesting. I've never heard of that before. January 18th, Atari Mania. And then Yars Recharged on January 25th. Retro futuristic. Low state inducing. shooter. Yars Revenge Recharged. Yeah. So these are your games for January so far for Prime Gaming. If you need to look at them again, here you go. Oh, this is interesting. So record-breaking MapleStory fine could threaten a controversial video game genre. Cubes cost Nexon millions. What does this mean? Gotcha mechanics. Here you go. Soup is right up your alley. Gotcha mechanics in games can feel like pouring money down the drain at the best of times. Some developers may be making things worse. Nexon Korea Corp, the publisher of MapleStory, was fined $8.9 million by the Korean Fair Trade Commission for misleading players about the chance to obtain in-game items. The Korea Economic Daily reports that's the highest fine ever levied by the KFTC for violating South Korea's Act on Consumer Protection in Electronic Commerce. Nexon did not immediately respond to investors' request for a comment. To understand Nexon's fine, you first have to understand cubes. Essentially, cubes are items that have a chance of increasing the rank of a piece of equipment, giving it better stats. Cubes come in many types, all with different chances of giving you a good outcome, making some far more desirable than others. One way to attain cubes is to purchase them with real money, though the exact type of cube you receive this way is determined randomly. That's where the fine comes in. The KFTC contends that starting in September of 2010, Nexon began alternating the probability of receiving certain popular cubes, even making some types impossible to obtain at times, without informing players of the changes. To make matters worse, Nexon then issued a statement in August of 2011 explicitly denying it changed the probability of receiving cubes, according to the KFTC. Quote, "We imposed the largest fine because the cube is a core product of the game. The period of the violation is long, and this is the second violation following sudden attack." Kim Jung-ki, director of the KFTC's Market Surveillance Department, told the Korea Economic Daily. Sudden Attack is another Nexon game that previously garnered a fine from the KFTC. In that case, Sudden Attack included an event with 16 puzzle pieces obtainable through loot boxes. Nexon implied that the odds of receiving each piece were random, when in fact, some had a minuscule chance of appearing. The Korea Herald reported. For that violation, the KFTC fined Nexon the equivalent of nearly $720,000. In the past few years, there's been movement from governments around the world to ban or restrict gotcha mechanics and other in-game purchases deemed exploitative. We've seen most recently China come down with heavy regulations, which have done real big damage to stock of certain companies like NetEase and Tencent and stuff, and to the point of where they basically, it looks like, utilized one person as the scapegoat for all the blame. Woo, excuse me. Within the Chinese government, and then they basically said, "You're done." But we'll see what happens else on that front. In September of 2023, Epic Games reached a $245 million settlement with the U.S. Federal Trade Commission to issue refunds to people whose children made purchases in Fortnite or who were otherwise unfairly charged. Activision Blizzard was fined in Europe last year for not disclosing loot boxes in Diablo Immortal, and the game didn't come to Belgium or the Netherlands at all due to their stricter laws against loot boxes. Yep, just a few weeks ago, China proposed rules that could decimate gacha games in the country. The regulations would include rules banning daily login rewards or bonuses for the first-time purchases. Proposal also includes requirements to let players directly purchase items found in loot boxes and gacha mechanics, as well as preventing people from being able to spend. There's like a limit to how much you could spend in games. Those proposals have a long way to go before they could become law, if they ever do. Most countries around the world, including the U.S., haven't even tried such severe restrictions. Nexon's case is different, as the KFTC alleged actual wrongdoing, where most efforts in the U.S. to pass laws around gacha games rely on categorizing them as gambling. Yeah. I'll stick to my sentiments. I mean, it's a slippery slope for putting gambling mechanics in games. I am very, very strongly, against children being able to access that kind of stuff. I don't think it's good. I don't think that underage individuals without appropriate supervision should be able to access any kind of loot box gambling, gotcha, anything gambling mechanic in a game. It's just they're not, in my opinion, developed cognitively enough, mature enough to understand the ramifications of what it can lead to, gambling addiction and stuff like that. And it needs at least a lot of oversight, and there needs to be a lot of help also for like people that find themselves unable to stop. There needs to be resources for people to be able to reach out, find help if they feel like they can't stop, things like that, and it's just not there. Last article I have for the day, and we were just going to touch, we've probably looked at a lot of these already, but I'm going to go ahead and touch on this. The upcoming game release schedule for this year and for January. We're just going to take a look, make sure there's nothing we missed. And after we finish this, we're going to move on and get into some Alan Wake 2 for the day. It might be the finale today, actually. So let me know if you guys have anything else to add in chat, and we'll discuss it before we move on and play games for the rest of the day, okay? So 2024 upcoming games release schedule. These are the games releasing in 2024 across PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, mobile, and more. Let's see what we got. January, Devil May Cry, Peak of Combat. This is a mobile game. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell on PC. What is this? Have I heard of this? Let's watch this real quick. I like the art style. Pretty good. Looks like we got like a 2D platformer Metroidvania on our hands. January 11th. Okay. Interesting. Take a look if you're interested. Here's the link. Let's see what else we got. Radiance on PC. What's this? That looks pretty interesting, actually. I want to see how this does on release. That's crazy looking. Here. There's this as well. Atlas Wept. That sounds really familiar.
Combat in Atlas Wept is semi-turn based. When the character's progress bar is full, it will be their turn to
Gives
act.
me
Short,
God, what was the name of
time-based
that game,
actions
dude?
allow the player to deal extra damage.
Why can't I think of the name of that
Enemy
game,
attacks
bro?
take the form of a short dodging mini-game.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
player will receive damage based on their performance in the action. Using magic attacks will fill an enemy's stun bar. Once full, the enemy will become stunned and unable to fight back. During this time, they will be far more vulnerable to melee damage. Tapping the confirm button at the right time will allow the player to deal additional damage. If the player can dodge all of an enemy's attack,
Davey,
they will avoid
wow,
damage
wee,
completely.
buddy. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, happy New Year's, man. Happy
Every enemy has
2024.
multiple new attacks that will
How you
test the
been,
player's
buddy?
ability to
Been a
react
minute.
and adapt. If they are to survive to victory, they will need to master the skill of dodging. That said, Atlas Wept allows the player to select between 4 difficulty settings. This
I've
can
been
be
great,
changed
dude.
at any time,
I've been great. Thanks
even
for
mid
asking.
battle. This will ensure that players of all
This
skill
is
levels
interesting.
will be able to
Okay.
enjoy and complete.
I'll link it to you if you want to take a look. 6 since New Year's? That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Brutal, man. My mom just got over having COVID. Man, it was a pretty brutal one, I think, from the way it sounds. But this is that time of year, dude. It feels like everybody. I've already been sick too. Feels like everybody gets sick right now. Arklands, RPG simulation strategy. Interesting. I hope you start feeling better, dude. That sucks. Okay, that's all we got? No, okay. Scusi. Interesting. This is kind of cool looking. Poggers, dude. Make a little village. Interesting. So it's got like a base building tower defense kind of situation going on. Need COVID to just go away. Yeah. All the sickness stuff. Yeah, Florida, I know. What's up, Florida? Happy Thursday. Or Friday, I mean. Jesus. I'm a day behind, man. All right, cool, Davey. It's good to see you, buddy. Be safe, man. Yeah. I think Florida was just getting. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah, you're just getting at the fact that like COVID stuff just needs to go away. I think it's just we're just gonna have it. So I mean, I think that's just the case. It's like modern flu. You know what I mean? Like, we've dealt with the flu for a long time. Yeah. And it just become commonplace for us, really. Like the default flu, you know, which used to kill a lot of people. Then we found out how to like immunize for it, and then now it's like this is like the new one. You know, it sucks. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. We've just got like different versions of flu, you know. Yeah, it sucks. Another code recollection. I don't know what that. Oh, that's Switch. Last was Part 2 remaster. What's another code recollection? What is this? Yeah, I know. Yeah, so me too, friendo. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay, we'll just pass on that one, I guess. Graven for PC. Let's look at this. Oh, it's early access right now, but it's going to be going full. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Howl. No videos for Howl. Okay. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We've seen that Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. We've seen that Under Night in Birth 2. Let's look at this real quick. And the other two we know. We won't go into February yet. We're just looking at January stuff. January 24th, we got a fighting game on our hands here. Oh my god, dude. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Sorry, guys. Some of these trailers get stupid loud, man. Or you said you got some travels coming up? Is that what you said? Oh, you got some flights coming up? Yeah. Dude, I hate flying. It's not because of the experience, because of people. That's why I hate flying. I hate to do with people. I love being in a plane, flying around. I'm cool with it. I enjoy it actually, but just the entire process of having to be around so many people for, the airport and in the plane and people are just super inconsiderate, self-centered, and most people anymore, it just doesn't feel like, I care to have a whole lot to do with most people because of those kinds of things. Especially in scenarios where there's a lot of people. It seems like the more people there are, the less consideration there is anymore. It's crazy, man. It drives me nuts. All right. Yeah, you'll get. I've you obviously will come across some nice ones here and there, but it seems like few and far between. It feels like few and far between anymore. Where most people are just, come off as entitled, entitled brats that are just self-centered, have no care for anybody else. You see the crap on the planes all the time anymore too. People be throwing their hair up over the back of the seat, or putting their feet up over your head or to the side of you and stuff. Dude, if somebody did that to me, you're gonna get wrecked. See, that's the thing. People just, and that's another part of it too. I think a lot of people, one of the things that kills me about people that the common sense, critical thinking kind of factor for most people, just it seems like it's just gone out the window, dude. There's just, it's so hard for me to deal with people because of that fact too. There's just no common sense anymore. It doesn't feel like people don't think with logic. They don't use reasoning. It's just if I can't do what I want to do, then I'm going to throw a fit because everybody else is wrong. And it's like, Jesus, it's so mauling to deal with, It's just dumb. If you guys wanted this here. What did I do? What did I do, man? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. There you go. But you come across some nice people still here and there, and it's good to see that we're not totally lost, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. Feels like it sometimes. We'll look at I'll bookmark this. We'll look at this for February once February is coming around, okay? That's the jam, dude. That's the news for this morning. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your Friday. Let's get some music popping to run out the end of this news segment on. There's some new videos up on the YouTube channel. Let me know what you think if you watch any of them. I've got a little bit of an intro and an outro on all of them now, or on the like individual news segments, the specific articles out of the news segments. So I've developed a little bit more, just something nice to intro and outro out of those. So if you watch them, let me know. The finals is brokey? What are you talking about, dude? Are we sporting snakes this morning? Nah. These are my tentacle earrings. I got tentacle earrings. Can you see them? Yeah. I got tentacle earrings. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, thanks. Yeah, I enjoy them. Yeah, I'll wear them every once in a while. Sometimes I'll wear both. Sometimes I'll stagger it, you know, and just wear like a nice little one in one ear. Sometimes I'll just wear both of these guys. They're like turquoise earrings, you know, little triangle turquoise earrings. I've just started wearing earrings again. I don't know why. I didn't wear earrings for a long time. I've had my ears pierced forever, and I just hadn't been wearing earrings for years. And I was like, I'm going to start wearing earrings again. Just have some fun with it, you know? Yeah, and I found these, like, it was because I found these. I found these, like, tentacle earrings. And I was like, dude, I'm going to rock some danglies, dude. Some nice tentacle earrings. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday. We're going to keep pushing. We've got gameplay to do. Sometimes it won't work. Vague, Soup. What do you mean? Is it just on like your device or what? And what's happening? So I'm actually thinking about maybe trying the finals today. We'll see. It depends. We're gonna play Alan Wake 2. It's I think gonna be the finale of Alan Wake 2 for us today. So there's that's probably gonna happen. We should be getting back into Baldur's Gate 3 starting tomorrow, which means that we might have Baldur's Gate 3 summed up by, you know, the end of the weekend, early next week. And maybe we just hop back into Fallout New Vegas and finish that up too. So we've got these last few games that are kind of, you know, left over from last year that we're very quickly going to be kind of summing up here, which is good. So it'll be a great rest of the day. We'll play some games. We'll have some fun. If we finish Alan Wake 2 early, we might try something out like the finals. I've got it installed and everything, so we'll see. If anybody's been able to hang out this morning, you're not familiar with what we do, this is our jam, man. 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. We start out at roughly 6 a.m. CST CDT, and we always kick it off with video gaming news, try to stay current on what's going on in the world of video games, the industry of video games. Basically every facet that we can, you know, and so after we finish that up, like we're about to do right now, we usually go and play games for the rest of the day. So we've got an amazing community of people. Awesome place to be all the time. Just trying to be uplifting, upbeat, enjoy video games, but be wholesome and accepting and welcoming and you know, be civil about things and just void of toxicity and negativity and stuff like that. So if you can dig that kind of thing, then you probably belong here with us, and we're always looking for more people to come help grow our community. So whether you're seeing this live now or maybe as a VOD later, we have all of our previous content. I do my very best to put all of our previous content on the Twitch channel as highlights, as well as in the YouTube channel as VODs and everything. So you go check out all the a lot of the previous content we've done, playthroughs, video gaming news segments, funny clips and highlights, all that stuff on those channels, and just come hang out with us when we're live, man. We love having new people come be a part of what we do, and we're always looking for more good peeps to be a part of the community, man. So other than that, happy Friday. I hope everybody's weekend is starting very well. We're gonna have a great rest of the day playing video games. And until tomorrow, when we get back into some more video gaming news for January 6th, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. I'm going to run us an outro, but I'm not going anywhere. It'll just be a nice way to segue out of this news segment. And as soon as the outro is done, we'll start getting ready to play some video games for the rest of the day. All right?